Jeff in the back.
Greg, have you seen this play out this way before? What happened tonight? A chance to win the game and just not being able to finish it and make some plays.
What's the question?
Is this basically the same story of some other games that you guys have had the opportunity to?
Well, I mean, every game has its own story. I thought from the defensive standpoint, for the most part, we were exactly how we needed to be. And it's going to be in a lower possession game. They played at a low possession rate all year, so have we. That it's going to come down to a handful of possessions. But I mean, for this group, my biggest thing is I'd like to see them be rewarded because they're doing so many good things and so many things right, and they've given us every single thing they have. I mean, obviously Purdue's got a terrific team this year, but they just continue to battle and have followed our plan. Really well. It's obviously not perfect, but no team is. I'd just like to see them get rewarded and be able to get over the hump here.
Todd in the back.
Greg, you had shots to extend the lead with 2.5, 3 minutes to go. What did you think about those chances? You take those, or is that something you feel like you could have gone a little bit different way?
Well, if the ball goes in, they're a great shot, right? I mean, Chucky's was good. I mean, you had like 6 possessions in 5 minutes, according to the log I've got here. Some of them were in a shot clock situation. I thought Chucky's was a good one. He's hit that shot fake side dribble before. Tyler had to shoot it a couple times. At max, we got exactly where we wanted to. The 20 seconds to go. I have to see the film on if he had his balance, and if he got in there, a little too fast or out of where he couldn't jump stop and gather and get the ball up on the backboard and have his momentum. So, I mean, that's the line we're walking, that we've got to be able to make plays. And it's not only the offensive end. Tonight it was there in the last 2-3 minutes, but we just got to keep helping them get better in that area.
Jeff?
In a game like this, you'll always point to possessions earlier in the game. That the first half, too many points off turnovers. Did you give them?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's, like I said, in a low possession game, it's going to be a battle, and we can set our defense in the half court. We're pretty good. You can't set your defense when you're throwing pick sixes. So that's in those 4 points, man, in a 2-point game. Love to have those back.
Right here, Coach.
Greg, with Zach Edey, obviously you doubled him quite a bit, and looked like you got into the passing lanes a few times when they tried to feed it to him inside. Just what was the overall plan of attack for him tonight?
Well, you try to keep the ball out of his hands as much as you can, but obviously they move him around and change the angle of the entry. So trying to keep ball pressure on passers. We got some deflections at times. Times we didn't have our hands up and they zipped it over the top of us. I think we did a decent job on him for the most part. Obviously, it's probably National Player of the Year. He should be. He just, and then he gets on the glass too. He's improved so much in his time there, and he can play in longer stretches. And he plays 33 tonight, and in years past he could barely play 20. So that's a credit to him. He's made himself from where he was. Coming there to where he is now, he's made himself into a really good player because he works. And I've had several conversations with Matt, so and he's always commented about how hard the kid works. He wants to be a good player, and it shows.
Right back here, Coach.
Coach, here. Tyler Walsh shot 2 of 11 today. What do you think about his aggressiveness offensively and his shot selection throughout the game?
Well, I'll grade shot selection out as I watch the tape, but I know between getting double teamed or having they had Edey on him, so at 7'4", 7'5", whatever, it's not, you can't get to. It's hard to get to back downs and to get to places where he's efficient from. I know 1 for 9 from 2, so I'll look for that. I'll look at that and dissect that in terms of what shots he shouldn't have taken. But you know, that's a tough guy to have to score over the top of, you know, to put it mildly.
Go Todd and then Chris.
Great contributions off the bench. You got a few good minutes from Isaac Lindsay at the end of the first half. You got a bunch from Carter Gilmore. What did those guys kind of just provide in those spot moments where they, you know, can kind of go out there and flash and give you a little bit of something to get the crowd going? Yeah,
I mean, Gilly, you know, Gilly's, we've talked about him a lot this year. He's accepted his role, embraced his role, and thrived in his role. You know, and Isaac, you know, has played mostly on the scout team, but with Connor getting a couple fouls there, came in and not afraid of the moment, you know, obviously to knock down shots. And, you know, it's another example of a guy staying ready and waiting for his chance and making good of his opportunities.
Go ahead, Chris.
Coach, you mentioned that you're happy with the guys' effort, their work ethic. What general message do you have for them if it isn't work harder, give me more? What can you even say at that point?
Well, we've got to clean up. I mean, just as Jeff mentioned, you know, four layups that we gave up off of just little things can, one thing here, one thing there, as they add up, makes the difference, you know, because we've been in so many of these games. You know, I don't think it's any one thing. It's continue to be as consistent as we can and clean up some of the things that put us in trouble, that make it harder to get out of a hole or starts the digging of a hole. So, and we've got to continue to be better at making plays down the stretch, and getting, we got the ball to where we needed to, and then sometimes you gotta, you know, just gotta have a shot go in. So when we bank one of those threes in or something, just, you know, we need to break the ice, so to speak. And like I said, just I would like to see this group get rewarded because of how they've embraced and attacked trying to be a good team. I mean, whatever we are, we're a pretty good 16 and 13 team or whatever we are. Just, well, I think we're a little better than our record shows. But we haven't gotten the results, so apparently we're not.
Todd.
You are who your record says you are, right, Rahul? Is that what they say? Whatever. All right.
You talked a lot about your players being resilient. How we saw them in here, it looked like this one hurt pretty bad. How tough is it that when you keep getting kicked like you do to build them back up where you need them to be going into Sunday now?
Well, they have always come back. I mean, Sunday hurt too. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it should hurt. It should sting. They know that they did a lot of good things, and you know, just were right there. Obviously, you know, the senior night, all that. You want to play well in your last regular season home game. You're playing obviously a really good team, so yeah. I mean, they're competitive. They want to win, and like I said, I can't ask for any more in terms of what they're doing, the effort they're putting in. You know, but as we've known all year, our margin for error is minimal. So we've got to continue to help them find ways to get over the top.
One more for Coach. Jeff.
There have been a couple games that have gotten away from you this year at Indiana, down the stretch against Nebraska. But from the last 15 minutes when Chucky went out at Michigan on Sunday, through the end of regulation, and for the most part today, do you think you guys overall played solid basketball, good enough to maybe win those games?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any doubt. We've gotten better. We played better basketball. Probably, you know, the second half at Nebraska is one that was not, you know, not acceptable. But other than that, we have, you know, Indiana. You know, that one obviously got away from us. But you know, we played I thought we played really well in the second half Sunday. I'll see as I go through the tape tonight about what I think about tonight. But I mean, you're right here with, you know, the league's champion toe to toe. So that tells me, you know, we're doing a lot of good things. If we weren't, we wouldn't be coming down to 20 seconds with a shot to take the lead.